So guys, welcome back to my live video, and I will discuss now understanding ORP. ORP means oxidation reduction potential. So let's go and talking about ORP. So today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of oxidation reduction potential ORP. Whether you are a swimming, a pool owner, or just someone with a thirst of knowledge, understanding ORP can shed light on the science behind maintaining clean and safe swimming pools, etc. So, what is ORP? Oxidation reduction potential ORP measure measurable a substance ability of oxidize or reduce another substance in a solution. In simpler term, ORP is a way to quantify a solution electron transport capacity. So chlorine is a most common residual disinfect. Chlorine is a most common residual mm, disinfectant and oxidizer used in swimming pools. When chlorine dissolves in water, mm, it deassociate into the strong. So active killing from of chlorine hypochlorous acid and its much weaker counterpart hypochlorite ion. Both are oxidizing and killing agent, keeping the water safe and clean and clear. So ORP is technically a thermo thermodynamic measurement, not a kinetic one, but for simplicity, it's harmful. It is a helpful to describe ORP with a visual analogy. If chlorine is a car, ORP is not the speed of the car. It's more like the quality of the highway. It tells us how well the car can potentially drive. So low ORP is like a bumpy gravel road with a surf terms. So the higher the ORP, the more smooth and wide open the highway becomes, so the car can drive faster. So higher ORP means chlorine can kill and oxidize faster and more effectively. Right? So oxidation and reduction. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. You know what? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Oxidation and reduction are complementary reaction and color and occur simultaneously. Together, they are called a redox reaction. One substance loses electron as yes, hello, macro, how are you? Where are you from? Substance lose electron as it's oxidized, while the other gains electrons and it reduces. So this complementary relationship ensure the overall neutrally in the solution as electrons move around. So when a substance is oxidized, it lose electrons. When a substance is oxidized, it lose electrons. When a substance is redox, it gain electrons. So the redox reaction can be recommended by the Archimedes. Oxidation is loss, reduction is gain. So it stands backward. We know it stands backward. How does a substance get redox when it gains something? The answer is that electrons minus ion have a negative charge. Electrons that have a negative charge and they reduce the oxidizer charge. So when we say chlorine gets reduced, we are referring to it getting used to oxidize or killing contaminants of the water. So why is ORP used in swimming pool? You know what? Swimming pool is ORP is used. ORP used in swimming pool. But why? ORP is used in swimming pools to gauge in disinfection, and oxidation performance in real time. So most commercial pools use pH and ORP probes 24 and 7 hours because it's important for pool operates to know it something's in wrong. If ORP drops, it's a signal that chlorine might be falling behind, or that the oxidant demand in the water so has increased relative to the amount of free chlorine, and secondary oxidation like ozone or OAP of used in the water. So why is ORP is important? Why important? How important? How much importance? So ORP is a valuable tool for pool operators trying to maintain the safety and cleanliness of water. By monitoring ORP levels regularly, we can ensure the water is properly disinfected, which minimize the risk of waterborne illness. It will also give operators a signal of the chlorine demand in the water. A high ORP indicates in chlorine in top of things, and a low ORP lets an operator know chlorine is struggling to keep up. So question is that how is ORP measured? So ORP is measured using a specialized device called an ORP proof or ORP meter. This probe has electrode submerged in the solution being tested in our case. So swimming pool water. The electrodes measure the voltage generated by the electron transport reaction called redox reaction in the water. This voltage is converted into an ORP reading, usually expressed in MV. MV means millivolts. So many states list 650 millivolts as a minimum acceptable ORP level of a public swimming pool. Over 750 MB is a very good, and over 850 is a expectationally good, and higher the ORP MB millivolt, the better chlorine performance, and therefore the sulfur and water. So, elaborating an ORP proofs and their functioning. ORP proofs operates on the principle of electrochemistry. Their electron transport reaction occur in the solution are measured to determine the solution ORP. And ORP proofs consist of electrodes typically made of noble metals such as a platinum of gold. These electrons are immersed in the solution being tested. Electron transport reaction occur at the electrode surface when the solution contains oxidizing or reducing agents. For example, in a chlorinated pool, water molecules may undergo oxidation at the anode positive electrode, losing electrons from oxygen gas O2 or other oxidizing species. Chlorine molecules undergo reduction at the cathode. Negative cathode means negative electrode, and anode means positive electron. So gain electrons from hypochlorite ions, etc. The ORB proofs measure the potential difference generated by this electron transfer reaction. The potential difference expressed in millivolt is directly potential of the solution ORP. This is sometimes also called conductivity. Through conductivity and ORP are not the same thing. So factor that affect ORP, pH or ORP. So ORP is highly sensitive for pH, both with and without chloronic acid in the water, because pH is about the movement of hydrogen ions. Because pH is about the movement of hydrogen ions, it affects the electrical charge and different substances in water, and thus the movement of electrons. The movements of electron is the ORP is all about. So notice how the reaction has both hydrochloric acid and a hydrogen ion. So on the left side of the reaction, this means the ORP will drop when either hydrochloric acid or the hydrogen ions is lower. So higher pH makes the ORP drop whether CYA is present or not, right? And whether um, hypochlorous acid is low or not. This is important. This is important to recognize, because if a consist pH is not maintained, the ORP reading the effectively unless useless. You know what? This is the moment of recognize, because if a consistent pH is not maintained, the ORP reading is effectively useless. Its baseline is moving. This is why commercial pools set a desire pH and use an acid or carbon dioxide feeder to try to suppress it and keep it steady. Even though we know pH cannot be controlled. So for ORP to be helpful and relevant to a pool operator, it is it is it has to be correlated with a no free chlorine or free chlorine to chloronic acid ratio at a fixed pH. Since pH cannot be controlled, a chemical control must work 24 and 7 to support it and keep it as a steady to possible. So chloronic acid lowers ORP levels. The more chloronic acid in the water, the lower the concentration of hypochlorous acid, and therefore less active oxidizer is present in the water. It's that simple, and it does not take a not a COA to drastically reduce the concentration of um, hypochlorous acid in the water. So look the difference between the red line on the two character below. So today discuss about the what temperature and ORP. Since ORP is a thermodynamic measurement, water temperature matters. The the color of water, the slower chemical reaction like oxidation and reduction can occur. So thus the ORP released, the warmer the water things speed up and the ORP increase. Next question about that salt chlorine chlorine generates and ORP. Salt water pools and ORP systems often experience a phenomenon known as ORP supersession. When the salt system actively produced chlorine, the ORP can drop and stay low unit until the salt system shuts off. The ORP can slowly recovers. The most possible theory is that the hydrogen gas bubbles products in the salt cell interface with the ORP probe, um, depressing the ORP level. While this has not yet been proven distinct factor it chemically makes sense to us. So how in increase warp in swimming pools? Pool operators can do a few things to optimize ORP levels in a swimming pool. In to increase ORP, operators can increase free chlorine levels. The more free chlorine, the more um, hydrochloric acid, right? That is. So today, and now talk about what is ORP in alkaline water and why is it important in your health, right? So alkaline water is deem it healthy for your body as it has a negative oxidation reduction potential of ORP. So most of us don't know what ORP in water is. Let alone understand how and why it is healthy. So here is brief premiere on ORP's water, so that you understand the importance of alkaline water for your family health. So ORP in water premiere. ORP in water is a measure of whether the water you are drinking oxidize or reduce another substance inside your body. Whether the water you drinking oxidize or reducing another substance inside your body, right? In plain speak, positive ORP reading indicate that your drinking water is more contaminant, is not is good for your health. And negative ORP reading, on the other hand, indicate just the opposite. The more negative the ORP is, the more antioxidizing is the water. This has many benefits for you. So why does the human body need a negative ORP in water? Why not positive ORP? Why negative ORP is need in human body? So the human body needs to have a negative ORP, right? And um, be on the alkaline side to function. If a person has too acidic blood, he could be like to die. A person, saliva and a number of other body fluids have a negative ORP value, as do many fresh fruit juice. As a matter of fact, you can test the freshness of fruit juice by its ORP level. It is possible to test the ORP value of the water you drink too. Alkaline water wise is water with a pH of 8 or more has a negative ORP value, right? A high pH and negative ORP makes alkaline water. A high pH level and negative ORP makes alkaline water good and healthful for your body because it nourishes your body fluids. Negative ORP water does not contains dangerous, possibly ethical contaminants like lead and mercury, and this is also a very big reason alkaline water is safe and healthy. And mercury both affects the brain and nerves and can cause death. Negative ORP drinking water standards and thus critical to your health. So you know what alkaline water benefits for your health? Alkaline water is a super hydrator with assumed antioxidant benefits. This means it can hydrate your system 5 times more effective, right? It has great immunity boosting benefits as it antioxidant properties. So what is the good ORP level? The more negative the ORP value, the more antioxidant properties are present in the alkaline water you are drinking. So as explained earlier, these properties are associated with anti-aging and cellular health. Positive ORP values, on the other hand, have the opposite effects. They age you before time. With getting into the chemistry of water, let's just put it this way. Negative ORP value alkaline drinking water can neutralize free radicals in your body, and water with positive ORP value cannot do so. High ORP drinking water standards are just the best. And if you ask us what is a good ORP level in drinking water, the answer is that should have the rating of at least minus 50 millivolts, but it does not often the case. Hence, a good alkaline water system should be added to your RO system, reserve osmosis system is in kitchen. This is the only way to get great harmful drinking water that is even more healthy than bottled water. So I can show you one demonstration, ORP demonstration. This is the mock, and and is the drinking water, and I and this is the oxidation reduction potential ORP indicator. Uh, I putting the two drops in this drinking water, and this color will change is pink. There is a high oxidation, high antioxidant properties. It is not a change. It is a bad ORP level. It is a positive ORP levels, and it is a comes to the positive ORP levels. This is not good for your health. So let's go check. No, I put in the three drops, but it's not the changed color. So see this, not the change the color. I putting the three drops in high ORP level, not the color change. If you and I discuss this, this is the Vestige concentrated mineral drops is a very important for every human health. So I drop just one drops, two drops, three drops, and you see this how to change the this drinking water color, and this is the proof is a very high antioxidant level in this drinking water. So normally there is not a oxidation level is high. This is called because you can also check your drinking water ORP level. This is an ORP level, ORP liquid indicator liquid. Any medicine store you can get this just 20 rupees. So this is called oxidation reduction potential. You can also check this your home, and this is the ORP testing liquid indicator liquid. If you putting the in your drinking water and not a color change, this is not a good for your health. And if the color is changed, if it is the negative ORP level, and this is the good for your health. So thank you, goodbye. I want to tell you, um, I will come back tomorrow. So till then, thank you, good night, bye.